144. Schloss has been in imposing form. Touched on the qualification. He got the perfect 150 in the 1-8 eliminations. Dropped 3 points in the quarterfinals and dropped only 1 point in the semi-finals. So here he is, Mike Schlosser. Knows how to shoot an arrow, this fellow. Let's get the gold medal match underway.
10 分.
Yeah, I think on paper, Mike is the clear favorite in this match, but yeah, you never want to rule out somebody just by statistics. And if you look at the average arrow score by Chen, I think Mike will have a tough cookie in this match.
10 分.
That's what Chen is going to need to do, just to stay in touch with Mike Schlosser.
10 分.
Yeah, effectively, if Mike keeps shooting like this, then there's nothing Chen can do. But yeah, all he needs to do is just stay close and try to match him. But 28 is not the start you want against the world #1.
Well, you know, Mike, Chef, just tell us what stands him above the others at the moment. Why is he so good?
I think it's multiple things. So I've actually had some really profound talks about this with him, about what makes him and perhaps what made me a good archer. And what we share and what we had in common is that we both, from a really young age, shot a lot of national competitions. So every weekend we would go out and shoot 1 or 2 competitions, and in the winter we would shoot 4 if there was time for it. So I think it's just the competition spirit that you train by doing them a lot, and then also the fact that Mike has a literal shooting range in his backyard and gets the chance to practice as much as he can. That helps as well.
Well, yes, walk out the back door and start shooting arrows has got to be an advantage.
10 分.
Let's see if Chen can come back into this match. 2-point game at the moment after that first end.
10 分.
This is exactly what he needs to do. He just needs to stay close to Mike in terms of score and hope for a bit of a slip up at the end of the match where he can capitalize. Because it doesn't seem like Mike is going to make any mistakes anytime soon.
Yes, indeed. Perfect score so far.
9.
And that is dropping below the 2 centimeter 10 ring.
10 分.
And there is Schlosser, 60 out of 60. The judges love it in the background there, don't they, Chef? Look at that.
Yeah. Well, they are getting treated to a master class of compound archery. So yeah, if I was there in the audience, I would enjoy myself as well. And I am enjoying myself on this end of the commentator booth.
Yes, absolutely. As I touched on earlier, Mike Schlosser has already got a perfect score in the 1-8 eliminations. Dropped just the 1 point in the semi-final. Perfect in qualification. Dropped 3 points. So he's only dropped 4 points in the entire competition, Chef, which is incredible.
Yeah, and I dare to say that that's actually a little bit below his standard, which is maybe a rude thing to say, but I think I can get away with it. But for all we know, he might have been testing something in a match where he shot a 147, because it is uncharacteristically low for him.
10 分.
Well, Chen, props to him. He's just playing his own game, which is what you need to do in archery. You can't really have any impact on your opponent.
10 10分，
And here's that signature leaning back style that I was talking about earlier, where
10
you
10
lean
分，
into the shot rather than standing up straight and really trying to force the bow. You're just letting the bow do its thing and letting the aiming movement happen. And by balancing the bow in such a way that you get a slow aiming movement, you eventually can get really, really high scores.
10 10分，
Oh, that is right in the middle from Mike Schlosser. And again, the officials and everyone here are just in awe of what Mike Schlosser is doing here. 90 out of 90. He is absolutely...
Yeah, let's just be clear here and say that Chen is not shooting a bad match. He's scoring 86 points out of 90 points, so he's shot 5 10s and 4 9s, which is not bad to say the least. But if you're up against the world number one, whose nickname is actually Mr. Perfect, then you need to bring something to the table that is, above average. And yeah, I think maybe at this point in the match, it will be really tough for him to get back into it.
Apologies again for the technical problems we're having from Taipei, but hopefully the pictures will stay stable for us to really enjoy Mike Schlosser. Good to see Gabby there too. We'll see her in the recurve women's final a little bit later on in this session. At the moment, it's 90 against 86. And real interest here to see if Schlosser can finish with a perfect score of 150. So here goes Chen to start the fourth end.
10 10分， 9 9分，
So
10 10分，
Schlosser, that was just his first 9 of the match. So he won't get the perfect score of 150. Chen, meantime, has had 2 10s in this end. So Schlosser ends with another 10.
中华台北的选手陈建伦射出10 10 10的满分。第一把选手来自荷兰 Mike Schlosser 射出19 10 29。
Yeah, so to get back to the point of before, when you asked me what sets Mike apart in the world of shooting, for as far or as long as I know him from when we were kids, he would bring or I should say would bring a printed out sheet of national, European and world records to competitions, and we would just see what we could get at that moment. So he would always be like chasing this mindset of like the sky is the limit, and he would always try to raise the bar of what's possible. And I think he's still trying to do that, and not necessarily by scores, because as soon as you hit 600 out of 600, there's not much to grab. But I think he still does it in terms of accolades. He tries to rack up those World Cup wins, and he tries to rack up the records. And so I think he just he has his mindset on being something exceptional in the world of archery, and I think he's doing a great job.
He sure is. There he is, banging in another 10. Chen, meantime, 3 10s in his last end, so he did really well. 3 points behind. Starting this end now 4. So Schlosser back to his usual high standards. So here's Chen's last arrow of the match.
10 10分。
So he's finished nicely. So Schlosser to win the gold just needs a score.
10 10分。